You are not just another hustling salesperson. You are the expert, the resource, the valuable partner for your clients. And how you grow your business should reflect how your clients see you. Welcome to the Roadmap to Grow Your Business podcast. We generate referrals without asking, build positive client experiences, and help you take control of your business. Here's your charmingly sarcastic host, Stacey Brown Randall.
Hey there, and welcome to episode 143 of the Roadmap to Grow Your Business podcast. I'm your host, Stacey Brown Randall. Okay, I haven't done an episode like this in a while. And because there are new people joining our community every day, I sometimes feel like it's important that we just step back, head up to the 30,000 foot view of what referrals really are and what they really mean, and just make sure we're all continuing to be on the same page. Or if you're new to listening to this podcast, that you very quickly can get into sync with what we believe and what we teach and what we know to be true when it comes to the best way to generate referrals. So I've titled this episode, This Bears Repeating, because it does. And the truth is, it probably bears repeating at least once a year, if not more. So let's dive into a few things I want to make sure that are crystal clear, locked and loaded in your mind when it comes to referrals. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this episode now is because of the next couple of episodes that are going to follow this, or you're going to be able to see how they kind of tie back to the importance of us understanding these pieces about referrals, which, in case you're curious, spoiler alert, there's a soapbox rant coming, but not in this episode. I'll save that for the next episode. But I think there's some things that I'm noticing about how people still in 2021 talk about referrals that are just tired and need to be retired. So we're going to talk about the foundational points of what we know to be true when it comes to authentic referral generation. We're going to talk about what we know to be true so we can put that in context with the things I'll talk about over the next couple of episodes about how some things that are really not taught well, not taught right, some tired advice that's still out there in the marketplace regarding referrals. So if you're a longtime listener, you're probably just going to be nodding your head to this entire episode because you're going to be like, yep, I know it. I believe it. I practice it. And of course, if you're a new listener, well, this will make sure that you're in sync with us and you're following along, you're tracking with us on what we believe when it comes to being able to generate referrals in the best way possible. First, let me share my referral philosophy. The referral philosophy is based on the human dynamic and psychology behind why real, true, authentic referrals happen in the first place. We like to think referrals are about us because someone refers someone to us for us to help and we get a new client and it's lovely and they think the world of us and that's why they're referring them to us and it's awesome. But nothing could be further from the truth. Now, okay, let's be honest. The fact that you're awesome, the fact that you do great work, the fact that your referral source trusts you, of course, that's why you get the referral. It actually is important. It's just not the most important thing. When a referral source is trying to help someone, that's what they're trying to do. Help someone. They're not trying to help you grow your business first and foremost. What they're trying to do is help someone who has a problem. And how they're going to help that person is by connecting them to you. And so when we think about the fundamental reason why a referral happens, it happens because a referral source is trying to help somebody else who has a problem. We call them the prospect. And how they're going to help that prospect is by connecting them to you, your service, your product, the ability to work with you and have you solve their problem. And so it's really important we understand our place within the referral philosophy. We would love to think referrals are about us, but they're not. They're about a referral source helping someone else. So what we have to remember when it comes to our referral philosophy is this. Referrals only come from relationships. Relationships are only maintained by connections. So it's important for you to understand that what you control in the world of referrals is your relationship with the referral source. That's it. That's what we focus on. The referral source knows the people that they can bring to you, but you only have to focus on the relationship with your referral source, strengthening that, cultivating that, deepening the trust factor, making sure they know that you appreciate them. That's your ultimate goal, right? So our referral philosophy is this. Referrals come from relationships. Relationships are maintained by connection. What we're talking about in there is the relationship you have with your referral source and how well you maintain that connection and deepen and strengthen that relationship with them. So it's really fundamentally important we're all on the same page about the referral philosophy, because that is actually what goes against most of the old school advice that's out there when it comes to referrals. Now, let me pause for a second, because it's really important we're all on the same page also of how we define referrals. So if you've been listening to me for any length of time, you got this. Referrals are defined with two key pieces. Number one, you are always personally connected by the referral source to the prospect. 99% of the time, this will happen over email. Of course, there is those chances when it's going to happen over a text thread, or it may happen in a one-to-one type conversation. Now, the age of your referral source and prospect may dictate whether or not we do this over text, or we're going to do this over email, or we're going to do this over a conversation that may happen on the phone. So of course, that is something you have to consider. But most of the time, these things are going to happen over email, though, again, not always. But it is the connection made by the referral source to you, to the prospect. So think about it's a email with three people. It is the referral source putting you and the prospect in the two line and connecting you two together. And it's in that connection that the trust the referral source has for you is transferred to the prospect. Second thing is need identified. And guys, this is a biggie, because we need the prospect showing up knowing that they are the prospect, because we need them to be in buyer mentality mode. That's what makes a referral easier to close, quicker to close, less price sensitive, is this concept that, hey, I've got a problem. I trust you to help me figure out the best solution. Oh, you think that Stacy's the best solution? On it. Thanks so much. And that is an important part of understanding this definition of how we define referrals. There is always a personal connection. There is always a need identified. You have to have those two things, or it's not a referral. It could be word of mouth buzz, or an introduction, or a warm lead. But if it's not those two things happening, it doesn't make it a referral. So it's important that we understand and we define referrals in the way that they're meant to be understood, specifically because of why referrals are so important to our business from a prospecting perspective, right? From a prospecting in terms of growing our pipeline of prospects. It's understanding that we want referrals of all the type of prospects that are out there that we can get. Ones that come in cold through, advertising, ones that see your billboard, ones that know about you from a networking event, ones that see you speak on stage, ones that hear you on podcasts, like all these fabulous ways that prospects can learn about you and decide one day to do business with you. We all know the best is for someone else to say, just go hire Stacy, just go hire Sam, just go hire Sarah. I don't know why I just use all S's there, but the idea here is that someone's putting their trust on the line, their reputation and their trust on the line. And so that is what makes a referral such the best type of prospect to get. And so what makes a referral the best type is because they have those two things. Okay, let's also make sure we're really clear with the cast of characters, because I've been using the cast of characters names throughout this entire episode so far, and I need to make sure we actually all understand the definition of them. So there's three cast of characters. There's three characters within what I call the referral process or the referral triangle. If you think about a triangle, like if you're not driving, not, doing yard work, and you're thinking about a triangle and you actually draw it on a piece of paper, at the very top, you put the referral source. And then at the two ends, left and right, you put the prospect and you put yourself. Prospect, of course, is the person who needs to become a yes paying client. You, of course, are you as a solution provider who is going to be helping, right? You're going to be providing the solution, providing your product or service. And then at the top of the triangle is the referral source. That's the person who knows both of you, knows the prospect needs you, and of course recommends and refers that prospect to you. So it's really important. It's just three cast of characters, but really important that we understand who they are, because sometimes I find that people get this stuff confused. And it's when we don't have this information locked and loaded with great clarity, never to be confused, that when we're out there in the marketplace and we're out there in the business world, other people can say things that will start to confuse what we believe. And we have to be locked and loaded on what this is. We have to understand, right, exactly what this looks like. So those cast of characters, again, referral source, prospect, you as a solution provider. Those are the only three people that are in the cast of characters. Okay. And then the final piece I want to make sure you understand is really understanding who a referral is actually about. Okay. I kind of started with this one because it's, in my personal opinion, the most important part. I mean, they're all important, but it's like we have got to get this through our heads because most of the advice out there in the marketplace today teaches us that a referral is about us. A referral is our responsibility, right? It is the actions that we take when we go out seeking referrals. You don't go out seeking referrals. That's not the mentality I want you to have, right? Do I want you to receive referrals? Well, of course, that is the ROI. But it's that mentality of how when we think about who a referral is about, if we put the spotlight on ourselves, like a referral is about me. I do great work. And so people refer people to me and they should refer people to me. Then that is where the advice comes from that you should ask for them. If I believe, right, that you owe me referrals and I need to be getting more referrals, well, then the tactic would make sense that I need to go ask you for them, which of course we know is not how it works. And we don't want to do that anyway. But that's what we're being taught. And we've been taught that. And there are folks who continue to teach that. Now, if it works for you, again, this is not the podcast for you. I'm probably not the person for you. That's okay. I'm not supposed to help everybody. I'm supposed to help the people that want to be helped. The idea here, though, is to pay attention to how you feel and think about referrals. If you believe referrals are about you, then the advice or the tactics that you would take would be probably to ask for them or to offer compensation for them because you're making it about you. I am creating work in someone else to do something for me. We take a different perspective. We flip that and say referrals aren't about us at all. Who are they about? The referral source. In the moment that a referral source comes across someone who has a problem, they stand at a crossroads. And that referral source says to themselves, am I going to try to help this person or am I not going to help this person? Most of us lean in the direction of helping the person who's asking for help. So we may in that very moment be like, okay, I'm going to help. In that moment, when I am thinking about how to help somebody, I am probably thinking about you as the perfect solution for it. But I didn't start out thinking about you. I started out knowing that there was somebody who needed my help. And that's where I wanted to begin. And then I was looking to how to help them best. Well, that means I need to connect them to the right person, which, ding, 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 is you as a solution provider. So keep that in mind, right? Referrals are about your referral source because in the moment they decide to give a referral, it's them being the hero to somebody who needs help. You just happen to be the person who's going to offer the help. And so if you keep the focus on everything you do from a referral perspective on your referral source, you understand the cast of characters, you understand what a referral is, you get the referral philosophy, and of course you understand that a referral isn't about you, but it's about the referral source, then it directs your mindset, your behavior, your actions, the tactics, everything you do, the language, everything you do goes to protecting that relationship with your referral source and to strengthening it, and of course to cultivating it and to deepening it. One thing I always say to my GBR students is that with our referral sources, with everything we build out within the Growth by Referrals program, identifying our referral sources, building our referral plan, like all those things, the language that we use, everything that we build out that we then do for our referral sources to maintain and deepen and strengthen that relationship, be memorable and meaningful, stay top of mind, all those things that we do for two main objectives. Number one is we want to impact how the referral source feels about us, meaning we want to impact that they know we care, that we're appreciative of those referrals, that they matter to us, that they're some of the most important humans to us. It's important that we impact how they feel about us. And of course, those feelings, as I just said, comes from a place of feeling thanked and grateful and it being truly, truly authentic. Because if I can impact how you feel about me, then point number two, I can also start to impact how you think about me. Let me say that again. If I can impact how you feel about me, feel like you're taken care of, feel like I care, because I do, people. This is real, right? No fakers allowed. No manipulation. But if I can impact how my referral sources feel by making sure they know how much I care about them, I can impact how they feel about me because they feel taken care of from a genuine, authentic place, then I have the potential to impact how they think about me. And the think part is where we're going to start using those referral seeds and using the right language and get them thinking about us in a very specific way. Okay. So I know for some of you, this was a repeat of all the things you've ever heard me teach you before, whether because you're a longtime listener of this podcast, you've read my book, maybe you've read it once, twice, or 5 times. Yep, I know some of you folks. I just adore you. Or you're in our Referrals Without Asking free Facebook community as well, or you just follow me on social media and you've just been consuming the trainings and the lives and all of the different resources and advice and educational material that I put out there. So for some of you, I know you know all this, but it bears repeating. And for those of you new to our community, you really need to understand this because it's the only way to understand how what I teach you moving forward and what I've taught in some previous episodes is actually going to make sense for the actions that I want you to take as you're attempting to bring in more referrals this year than ever before. And the other reason why I wanted to hit on the philosophy and the definition and the cast of characters and ultimately who a referral is about is because this is going to lead into some upcoming discussions we're going to have on the podcast. So I hope you stay with me because like I mentioned and I teased at the very beginning of this episode, there are some things that I see that are continually just wrong. Oh, they're just so wrong with the collective mindset around referrals that every day people are being taught. And I just wish that they weren't. Now, as always, you guys know I would love for you to share your thoughts on this episode and ask any questions that you have in our Referrals Without Asking free Facebook group. You can search on Facebook for it at Referrals Without Asking, or of course, just go to stacybrownrandall.com/community and it'll redirect you right to the group. Remember, if you're not a member, you got to join. And of course, if you are a member, you should be checking in pretty often. We do some really cool stuff in that group. And of course, all the links that I've mentioned can be found on the show notes page for this episode at stacybrownrandall.com/143. That's the number 143. And of course, Stacy has an E. Okay, we have now started the final month of the first quarter of this year, 2021. Some of you still haven't taken the Referral Ninja quiz. Some of you haven't sat through some of the on-demand training that we offer. And some of you still haven't purchased my book, Generating Business Referrals Without Asking. Well, if now's the right time for you to do any of those things, hop on over to the show notes page at stacybrownrandall.com/143, and I'll have all the links right there for you. So you just remember stacybrownrandall.com/143. That's our episode number. Stacy has an E. And I will have a link to the Referral Ninja quiz, to our on-demand training that is always available for you, plus any upcoming live training that we have as well, link to my book, and then, of course, links to all the other episodes that you would be interested in as you're catching up maybe, or going back and really making sure you understand the right way, truly what I believe to be the only way to generate referrals, and that is to do it without asking, without paying, without being promotional and gimmicky, and without manipulation. Okay, next week's episode is episode 144. And like I said, I'm going to chat about some of the disturbing things I keep seeing within the world of the collective referral mindset. So until then, take control and grow your business. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to the Roadmap to Grow Your Business podcast. To access all resources and links mentioned in today's show and to connect with Stacy, head over to www.stacybrownrandall.com.